Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to the show. I might get a little bit of heat for today's video. It might be considered a bit of a nothing burger, or it might be considered a little bit petty, but either way, my passion is interjecting and it's making me make this video. I wasn't sure I was gonna sit down and criticize the guys from Hardlore, but today I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, you know what? The time has come. So today we're gonna be talking about Bo and Colin of the show Hardlore. This show is called Punk News Now. My name is Dan Frampton. Hit me with a like and a sub, would ya? So today we're going to be talking about the podcast Hardlore that's run by Colin and Bo. These guys are very famous within the hardcore and heavy music sectors of the world. These guys are in very popular bands and they're very well connected. So they should be saying all the things that are very much in tune and in touch with the hardcore culture and the scene. And that is the problem that I have with today's clip, is because they seem to be losing grip with all of that. But maybe I'm making too big of a deal of it. Maybe it's just like, oh man, Dan, you just care too much about this shit. These guys are just saying their thing and it's okay. But we're gonna pull up this clip right now and I have a lot to say about it. So if I'm making too big of a deal about this, you let me know down below. If you have a different opinion, you let me know down below. But the short and skinny of it is they got a viewer question. That question was something like, I don't know, is the hardcore festival thing ruining hardcore? Answer that. Then they go into a whole diatribe about the post-COVID hardcore bubble, and everything they say after this, I just sit there scratching my head. And this is the clip in question right here. Now, I gotta say, I have a lot of respect for these guys. They've done a lot for the community. They've done a lot in the scene that I have a lot of praise for, which is what makes these series of words coming out of their mouth so perplexing to me. So I'm gonna let it play a little bit. I might pause it to interject my opinion and stuff. This is gonna be a bit of a reaction video, but their clip isn't that long. All right, Colin, roll it.
Somebody asked, are all the fests helping or hurting hardcore? I think
it's catch-22.
The bubble has burst.
Definitely.
The fest bubble has burst a bit.
Definitely.
You know, you can't just do a fest anywhere and have it be a success. There's not.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop you right there. Calling it a bubble is a little bit dramatic, I think. This isn't like the .com boom of the 90s. This isn't like NFTs or crypto. This isn't like AI right now. It wasn't a hardcore bubble. It was just more popular for a bit because people were excited to get out of the house after COVID. I would not call that a bubble. To me, it was so perplexing that hardcore was as popular as it was over the last 3 years. Because yeah, I guess you could classify it as a bubble if you want, but this stuff has been around since like the 80s or whatever. So calling it a bubble is a little bit out of touch and not using the right like vernacular whatsoever. But yeah, it was really popular for a time, almost too popular, especially if you've been into hardcore since the 80s. It wasn't like mainstream at all, ever. It wasn't all over everybody's business at any point in history up until like the year 2020, where everybody was watching these clips online, getting so hyped about hardcore, being like, oh man, I miss going to shows, I miss music, I miss community, I miss people. That when the doors opened up and people were allowed to go do the thing again, people went absolutely ham for 3 or 4 years. But it's not a bubble. It was never a bubble. It's been around forever. Anyway, continue.
There was a post-COVID bubble.
A post-COVID bubble, Bo says.
It's finally burst.
And it's burst, for sure.
But I think you have
a post-COVID bubble and it's burst. This is crazy. This isn't, like I said, the 90s .com boom. The reason why the bubble burst is because the hardcore dudes weren't necessarily the most welcoming to all these new people coming in. If you're watching this video, you got to know that that is true, because all these new people, all these new excited people, ready, raring to go out to shows, what were they called? They were called posers. They were called tourists. They were mocked. They were laughed at. They were clipped. They were clip farmed. All the people that were new to the scene were so excited for something new, for something fresh, for something organic, for something raw. They wanted to get rid of this aggression. And year by year, it just whittled down. It could have grown. It could have flourished if a lot of the dudes in the hardcore world that were there before the bubble actually adopted more of an education mindset. Positive reinforcement, not negative reinforcement. But it was nothing but negative reinforcement. So then people were like, where can I get my hardcore fix elsewhere in the world? So people started going to screamo shows. So people started going to more like traditional punk shows. They found that this sort of DIY energy was in other places that were a little bit more welcoming than the hardcore world. Hardcore bubble burst. Give me a break.
But I think you have Haywire doing their thing, showing you what it can be.
Haywire is out there doing their thing, showing you what it can be. Obviously, this is insane to say. Haywire's just doing the hardcore thing. They're out there touring relentlessly, connecting with the audience nonstop, putting on affordable shows in the middle of the week, and encouraging people to come out to the shows. They're just doing the bare minimum of what hardcore bands have to do. You can't just throw up a fucking show in Poughkeepsie randomly on a Tuesday afternoon and expect it to sell out with a bunch of hyped kids showing up. The bubble burst.
And I think we all need to look. He posted that thing the other day about, hey, just do a fucking $10 show on a Tuesday.
They did a $10 show in Richmond, which he told me about at Furnace. I caught up with him in a little bit. They did a $10 show. It was $15 with fees.
They're saying this like this is new information. This is the way hardcore has always been. Oh, the guys in Haywire are doing it right, boys. They're doing something so innovative and interesting. They're putting on shows for $10. They're making this affordable to the people that are interested in going to the shows. My mind is blown. I'm from the Twitch Fits. I'm from Twitch and Tongues. I'm best friends with Brody King. He's on TV. I have like 3 or 4 songs that are used as entrance themes on AEW television. I am so disconnected from the world. That's how this seems. These words coming out of Colin Young's mouth right now. Oh, Haywire, they're out there doing it. They're showing us how we should be doing it. My God.
Which means every band, I don't know if they're making any money off the door. I don't know how the breakdown went. I don't know how much the venue cost, whatever. It was at Canal Club. But all of those kids who spent $15 to get in, 800 of them who showed up, they're gonna buy a t-shirt.
Sure.
Oh my God. These guys are just like making it about the money. These guys are, hey, you can just sell your tickets for $10. They're gonna buy a t-shirt. You're gonna walk. It's not about that, Bo. It's never been about that. Hardcore is the antithesis of everything that you're fucking saying right now. Why are you talking about the breakdown? Why are you talking about the venue? Why are you talking about the money? Why are you talking about all of this sort of stuff? Being like, wow, they only charged fucking $10 and they got money? Oh my God, yeah, the kids are gonna buy t-shirts, right? This sounds so stupid.
Yeah, so it all evens out. But
So it all evens out. It isn't about that. Bro, I know you want to sit there in front of your big fancy setup with all your RGBs behind you, but it isn't about the breakdown. It isn't about the venue. It isn't about the allocation of funds or whatever the fuck you're saying. Haywire put on hardcore shows for hardcore kids that are interested in going to hardcore shows. It's been like that since 1980 fucking 2. Give me a break.
But like the community can't grow if we're pricing young people out of the show.
Oh, it's a major revelation that Colin's having over here. Oh, it won't grow if we're pricing the kids out of the show. If the people that want to go to the show only have $20, why are we selling tickets for $80? Why are we selling tickets for $120? Why are we putting on these 3-day fests where you need to pay like $500 fucking dollars to go to? Brother, the fact that this all sounds like new information to these guys is blowing my mind. Do they know what punk rock is? Do they know what hardcore is? Do they have any idea what DIY even means? Do they know what the letters stand for? Apparently fucking not.
Straight up.
That's a fact. So
you know what? You want to know
gotta keep it cheap.
A really interesting point that he had. I don't think this is sharing too much at all, but if anybody says, oh, this band sold out this place, 500 cap room, whatever. The question is always, what's the cap? Never, how much were the tickets? So, hey, we sold out Canal Club, 800 kids. Nobody gives a shit that there was only 10.
Holy shit. So it's just about flexing? It's just about telling the fans and the other bands how many rooms you've sold out? It's not about any of this vanity shit, bro. Why are you making this about selling out rooms? What's the cap? Nobody's asking about how much the dollars are. They're saying how many people showed up. This is ridiculous that you're making it about business. Yes, I know it is fundamentally, at the end of the day, a business. You are dollars and cents out there. People, heads, merchandise. It is what it is, right? But the reason why it's DIY and the reason why it's hardcore is because it's for the people, by the people, to the people who care about it the most passionately over here. Why are you making this about flexing? Why is it about vanity stuff? They're out there. Nobody cares about this. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about any of this shit. They care about the music. They care about the community. They care about the bands and the artists. The actual boots on the ground stuff. The average person going to a show, they're not a businessman. They don't care about any of this sort of stuff. They don't care about you flexing. They don't care about how many fucking dollars you charge for a goddamn t-shirt. Nobody that's actually in this for the passion of this cares about any of that. Who are you talking to in this fucking episode of your podcast? Other labels, managers, the business people? Because you're certainly not talking to the people. You guys sound so disconnected, like you're in your own little worlds of superstar rock stars. Because yeah, you've been there. You've sailed past the upper echelon pretty much. Colin and Bo are some of the most well-connected guys in the hardcore world, and it is sad to see it getting to their heads so easily and so readily here. Am I making such a big deal out of this? They're coming to this like it's a revelation, like it's not been around since the fucking 80s. Oh my god, charge fucking $10 for a show. People are gonna come out and be excited about it if your band is good. And Haywire, yeah, they're a very good band. They're the band right now. They've taken that Trapped Under Ice spot. They've taken that former Turnstile title fight spot in the scene. Haywire are that fucking band. They get it. They know how to connect with the people. These guys are giving out free t-shirts. These guys are mailing things to fans just to create long-term fans. Just so when they show up to Poughkeepsie, New York or whatever, that the kids are gonna turn out. They're putting in the legwork. They're putting in the time to make those connections. And the fact that you're just like, Haywire's showing us how we should be doing it. Aren't you guys the preeminent voices in the scene? Why do I feel like I'm being talked down to by a bunch of pretentious snobs? This is the hardcore world, Bo and Colin. I don't have time for all this smug nonsense, you and your fucking Metallica shirt. Ride the lightning, bud.
$10.
That is true.
It's just an interesting way to look at it. I love it.
What do you mean it's just an interesting way to look at it? It is the only way to look at it. You are not a DIY punk hardcore kid. Not by a long shot. You haven't been for years. Harm's Way has been so popular for so long that apparently it has gotten to his head. It is about the community. It is about the passion. It is about the fucking people, okay? It isn't about the cap. It isn't about the size of the room. It isn't about the dollars and cents. It's about the music and the people and the experiences that the music and the people create. You guys sound fucked up, bro. Like ruined. You guys sound corrupted.
I think it's great. I think it's great.
That's brilliant.
It is.
That is very true.
It's great. I know. He's so smart.
It's brilliant. He's so smart. Jesus fucking Christ. If he's telling you guys this, it's because he knows that you guys are operating on a whole different level right now. And he's like, guys, you just got to do $10 shows. Why aren't you doing $10 shows? Why aren't you connecting with the people? Why are you doing this fucking Hardlore podcast? Right now, this podcast came out 4 days ago. These two dudes that we're looking at are two of the most popular guys in the heavy music DIY scene, and this thing only has 15,000 views? Are you fucking kidding me? There's a reason why people aren't connecting with this. There's a reason why people aren't resonating with this. And I know that sounds pretty ironic coming from a really small channel like this over here, but I grew these 20,000 subs from absolutely nothing. Yeah, I had to ruffle a few feathers. Yeah, I had to fucking do a lot of weird things to get the attention to get here. And I'm not like a well-known figure in the scene the way that these guys are. These guys are supposed to be the guys that are out there doing it. And this is what they're saying to people. Man, it isn't about flexing. It isn't about any of that. Just make the music that connects with the people that want to go to the shows. And then when the people go to the shows, make an effort to connect with them there. That's what Haywire is doing well. They're doing all of that so good, on top of making some of the most high energy, exciting music being created today. And they're not doing anything new, by the way. If you listen to Haywire, you're like, oh, I heard a version of this in the 80s. Oh, there was a band like this in the 90s. Oh, wasn't there a band like this fucking like 3 years ago? Yeah, there sure was, but these guys are putting all the elements together in a way that's resonating, in a way that's making them relevant and memorable. And the Hardlore guys are out here being like, it's brilliant. Oh, the genius that this guy has. He's just doing the whole Minor Threat, Black Flag, Circle Jerks thing that was laid down by bands like the Descendants, and that tradition kept up on the underground for years and years and years. There was no bubble, okay? It just returned to what it's always been. I don't want to say the status quo, because like there's negative connotations with status quo, but hardcore, punk rock, and DIY is back to where it fucking belongs, bro. To the people that actually give a shit about it. And yeah, it would be great to grow the amount of people that are actually into it. So the next time people are going to your shows, make an effort to make them feel fucking welcome there. Take an education mindset. Like I said, positive reinforcement works so much better than negative reinforcement. I hate to say it, but you guys are your own worst enemy. I've been around in the punk world since the fucking 90s. I've seen it come and go. I've seen it ebb and flow. And it's this unapproachable, gatekeeper, smug-ass nonsense that keeps people away from it. And if you're taking my character that I've played on this channel as the ruthless gatekeeper seriously, then you just don't understand satire. I'm doing satire to comment on gatekeeping, to comment on this culture. But now I've gotten rid of the whole gatekeeper thing, and I'm coming out here with real criticism because this is how I actually feel about this situation. It's very sad to see these two guys say these things. These guys are the preeminent voices in the hardcore world. And yeah, they're gonna look down their nose at a guy like me. They're gonna be going, oh yeah, you're just like the TMZ slop tuber scene drama guy. Yeah, I might be, but I've displayed more passion and knowledge in this very video than you guys have in the last like 10 fucking years of your career. I care about this, and the only reason why I made the decision to actually come on and criticize these guys is because of how much I care about this. I'm not getting anything out of this. They're not gonna listen to this criticism. They're not gonna be like, oh, you know what? I am out of touch. You know what? It has been like this since fucking Ian Mackay in 1982. What do you mean, bubble burst? You're driving me crazy. I need you guys to read a fucking book about the dot-com bubble. I need you guys to read a fucking book about what's going on with AI right now so you understand what a fucking bubble is. I'm getting heated. I'm getting tilted. And it is only because of the points and the takes that they're making. Like I said, these guys, as guys, I think that they are cool. I think that they have brought a lot to the scene and a lot to the culture. I love Colin's voice. Harm's Way is okay, but everything Colin does creatively is actually really good. I really like it, which is why it fucking breaks my heart into 1,000 pieces to hear him being like, oh, this is brilliant what Haywire is doing. And if Haywire guy is telling you this stuff, like I said, he's just trying to educate you, knowing that you guys are the voices out here. Why aren't you saying the things that are for the people, by the people, to the people? Why are you guys acting like smug, arrogant shitheads? I don't understand. This is supposed to be the blue collar stuff. This is supposed to be where the Doc Martens are worn. What are you doing? So I know I might have went a little bit hard in this video, and I don't mean anything negative by it. I don't want any hate. I don't want any sort of harassment being hurled towards these guys. And like I said, it's not really a huge deal. There was nobody hurt. There was no crime. There was no violence. There was no sort of immorality in this story whatsoever. It's just my passion is misaligned with the words that they're saying. It is just a take that I just think is wild for dudes like this to be saying on the internet on a platform that they have. So I understand you might be thinking it's not that big of a deal, and you might be right. It's probably not that big of a deal. And you might be thinking, I don't care about any of this fucking shit. And that's fine too. It is okay not to care about this. This is some trivial ass fucking bullshit. I'll be the first to tell you that. But I care about DIY. I care about punk rock. I care about hardcore. I care about the communities and the people and the history, the records, the music, everything. I love it. And for these guys to be saying this kind of thing is just baffling. It just sends my mind for a fucking loop, and I had to get it off my chest, okay? I have a platform, I have a channel, I have a voice and a camera and a microphone and a bunch of lights and a green screen. Of course I'm gonna turn this into a bit of content. So I might have been a little bit exaggeratory in the way I titled this video, but the point remains, and I may have had to exaggerate a little bit just to get that point across. But that is essentially everything off my chest. Thank you so much for watching. I've been doing these live streams around this channel in the evening time, been loving it, and I'm planning my next big stream for, I don't know, Wednesday, let's say October 29th. Pencil it in, big stream, Wednesday, October 29th, week and a half away. Okay, goodbye, see you later, and have a good one.